Hey, gorgeous people. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday and jumping in with today's video. The biggest thing that will impact your experience right now that you're having, that you have absolute 100% control of. And I think this is going to be so key for so many people right now, because obviously there's a lot of things that feel uncertain. There's a lot of things that we feel that we can't control or have no control over. And often this makes us feel like we're spinning out of control or really experiencing some emotional roller coasters as well. So good morning, good morning. Say hello if you're jumping on here. And of course, as always, pop comments or ask questions, whatever you guys need. I'm absolutely here to support you in your journey, particularly even more so like around this time as well too, guys. And send me some love. I'm always up for love on a Friday. Or any day, in fact. You know, sending everybody out there as well loads and loads of love and thinking of you all and sending blessings and health and all that good stuff out there as well. So today's video is so critical for our mindset, and it is going to make the most singular biggest impact in how you actually experience this. I've been having loads and loads of conversations with everyone. I can't see who's jumping on this morning. I don't know why that is. Here we go. Hey Trace, great to have you on. Thank you so much. What a beautiful comment, honey. Sending you so much love, sweet. Definitely, like I said, this is a time of great uncertainty. There'll be lots of things that you feel that you can't control, and a lot of the time that does make us feel powerless. It does make us feel helpless. It does send us into feelings of despair or perhaps overwhelm or frustration or, you know, and I've noticed, particularly in the last week or so, of just having lots of conversations with my beautiful clients and really making sure that they're getting supported in a really powerful way as well. A huge part of that has been this kind of, I guess, sinking realization that, oh, this is not going to be over next week. And I think everybody's new normal, you know, trying to adjust to that has to really be quite powerful as well. Hey, Anne, lovely to have you on. So the biggest thing, guys, if you get this wrong, you are going to be in a lot of emotional pain. Like I said, you'll be feeling really out of control, up and down. You may feel really reactive around your finances, in your relationship, in your home environment. It may make lockdown, you know, quite challenging for you in lots of ways, as opposed to feeling a sense of freedom. Imagine that, feeling free in lockdown. It could be that you're in flow. It could be that you're feeling inspired and creative. It could be that you're thinking about ways to expand and grow and evolve over this time. I can tell immediately with all of my clients that I've been working with over the last couple of weeks, in particular, exactly where their mindset is at by their opening phrases to me of where their focus is actually going. And this is the number one thing. It is what you make this mean. So this is our greatest freedom as humans on any level. It doesn't matter the experience, whether it is this current experience that everybody's going through at the moment, and people are having very different experiences throughout this whole situation. For some people, you know, they're perceiving this as an absolute blessing. For some people, this is the worst thing in the world that could have ever happened to them. For some, you know, it means huge financial challenges. For other people, they're thriving in this. And this is the absolute key, guys, because whatever you choose to make this mean is going to be your experience. We are always telling stories, guys. We're always making stuff up as humans. Now, you may disagree with me on that, but often we actually make the meaning around certain situations or certain things. If you think about everything that's happened to you over life, what has been the unconscious choice or the unconscious meaning that you've made around particular things? And this is where we can all kind of get caught in a little bit of story sometimes. Hey Ricky, great to have you on here, where we had an incident, say, happen, you know, years ago, and whether that was with a school teacher or whether that was with a parent or a sibling, and we made that mean that we weren't enough. They might have just been having a bad day. They wanted to take their anger or their shame out on somebody else, or you know, they felt so insignificant that they made you feel insignificant. Now, I'm obviously like completely off topic from what's going on at the moment, but it doesn't matter, guys. This is exactly the same thing. It's just applied in very different ways. Good morning, Christy. Hey Ricky, great to have you guys on. So this is, again, super, super important as well in terms of what story are you telling yourself? What are you making this mean? Because we actually have a real choice around this. And when you start to consciously choose, oh, I can choose something that's actually supportive and resourceful for me. So I can make this mean that, hey, it means that I get to hang out and have more time with my family. It means that I can really rest my body. Or it means that I get to help and serve people in a really powerful way right now. We can make it mean that I was born for this. You know, I've been, and for me, that's personally like one of the things that I've actually been working on for myself. One of the beliefs that really, really serves me. Hey, Josh, great to have you on. Hey, Rod, lovely to see you on here as well. Where I've been doing like truckloads of inner work. I've been doing truckloads of, mindset work, really understanding how the mind actually works to be able to help people move through such challenging times as well. And it all comes back to, so the other way that we tell a story or what we make things mean is through the questions that we ask. And it is the quality of the questions that you ask yourself, either consciously or unconsciously. And I'll break these down so that you guys have greater awareness around this as well. Good morning, beautiful Marguerite. I hope your hair is beautiful rainbow colors. Marguerite was having a beautiful day yesterday with her children painting her hair. So it was hilariously funny. But what a great mum. So sending loads of love to you, darling. So what we make things mean is by the quality of the questions that we actually ask ourselves. Now, sometimes we can ask ourselves pretty shitty questions. Why is this happening to me? Why does this always happen to me? Why do, when I'm finally getting ahead, something goes wrong? What's so, I'm just trying to think, sorry. I'll get some other questions in there that are really poor quality questions. I don't really access too many of those these days as well. So, and great, I'll read your question as well, Trace. So if we could ask ourselves a few things to help us each day, what would I recommend? Absolutely in isolation. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll definitely dive into that. And I did actually do another post the other day, Trace, which I'll tag you in as well, where I've got a list around those things. So I'll give you guys a breakdown of what I do. And then, again, you've got full freedom around this. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but you might be able to grab some ideas from that or be able to kind of shift and change things up a little bit for you as well. But the biggest thing around this is what you're going to determine that this time means. For me personally, like I said, I feel like I was born for it. And so it's like we're constantly asking ourselves questions each day. It's like, how long is this going to be? Are we going to be okay? Are we all going to be able to survive this? Is my family going to be okay? Are we going to be okay financially? So there's so many different questions here around this as well. Good morning or good afternoon, beautiful Amna. So great to have you on. And Tracy, lovely to have you on here as well. Thank you for so much love, sweetheart. You are so gorgeous, and I will respond to your message shortly as well. So definitely, we've got to look at the questions that we're asking ourselves. Now, quality questions are, how could I utilize this time in the best way possible? Who do I want to emerge as? So I did a webinar last night for my Empowered Women's group. Please feel free to jump across there. I'll be putting the link in there where you guys can actually jump on and watch that. Good morning, Di. Lovely to have you on. So you can, and good morning, Kate. Lovely to have you on as well. So you can jump across to the Empowered Women's group. I'll pop the link below, and you'll be able to jump in and watch that. That'll go into a lot more in depth. So Trace, that might be actually something that you may want to check out as well for yourself. Simply because I break it down like at a lot more levels around standing guard of your mind, and how to actually start to filter out some of these other things that really can paint a picture of what we're making it mean in doom and gloom. So definitely getting some clarity on that will be helpful for a lot of people, I believe. With the quality questions that we're asking ourselves though, so like I said, who do I want to emerge as? If you got to be this amazing beautiful caterpillar right now, and you are inside your cocoon, and you're creating and you're integrating and you're implementing and you're learning and you're growing and you're becoming this new version of you, who do you actually want to emerge as? Because the second that we actually start to do that, now we're in our prefrontal brain. So this is the prefrontal cortex. subject. Anytime that you are stuck in survival or fear, you're in your back brain, and you will not be able to come up with the solutions or the inspiration to change your current situation or to look at it differently if you are stuck in the back brain and the survival brain and stuck in fear. We cannot create changes from the same level of thinking that created that same issue or the same emotion. So you have to elevate through different ways, guys, by asking yourself really quality questions. Who do I need to step up and be? Now, this is so important on many other levels, and I'll be doing a business talk with the beautiful Danny Pullen, Steve Barker, and Michael Phelan on Monday at 5 p.m. So you guys might want to jump into that Zoom call as well, where we're breaking down very specific distinctions around this, but I'll be doing a piece on emotion and mindset, on how to master the emotions around that as well. So by the quality of the questions that you ask yourself, you really are determining, what am I going to make this time mean for me? What am I going to make this time mean for our family? Now, this is really important on lots of levels, guys, because the vagus nerve, so every human has a vagus nerve. Everyone's tuned into everybody else's vagus nerve. It is the largest, one of the largest nerves in the body. It literally runs from the back of the head right down through our stomach, and it is that gut intuition. It's that intuition that tells you when something's off or when something doesn't feel right, or perhaps when you go, you can see somebody off in the distance, you're like, oh, I don't like their vibe, or I don't like their energy. This is what's actually giving you this feedback, and it extends out through our periphery, in our arms and legs as well. And so you're getting this non-verbal feedback constantly around what's going on. This is what your kids pick up on when you are super stressed, and they are so interlinked into your nervous system that if you are living in fear, you're going to be exacerbating this experience for your kids as well. So as parents, as leaders, as teachers, as nurses, as people that are providing a service or are stepping up, or business owners, the people that can provide the most certainty and the most calm right now are going to be the ones that can thrive through this whole experience, rather than just focusing on, oh my God, how am I even going to get through the day, or how am I going to survive? Now, being adaptable and flexible is also critical at this point in time as well. I love that, Trace. You are the butterfly. That's so beautiful. Hey, Nadira, great to have you on. Hey, Jody, lovely to have you on. And Mark, lovely to have you on as well. So guys, like this is really the most important piece is, number one, what am I making this whole event, this whole situation mean? Number two, what questions am I asking myself? And quite often, by asking ourselves those powerful questions, who do I want to be, or who is it in me that would show up at the next level for my kids or for my business, or any of that stuff. And one of the things that I'll be talking about in the Zoom video is the neuroscience of selling. And this is not to sell in terms of I just want everybody's money or anything else. This is truly to serve people at a critical time when they really need it right now. And if you are in a service industry and you absolutely believe in the product or the service that you're delivering, and you know it can make a massive difference and a massive impact, the level of certainty that you have is going to serve everybody else around you as well, because people buy from who they trust, and who they trust is who is most certain at a time. So if you think about even in a car, when if there's two of you in the car and you don't know really where you're kind of going, but one person's like, oh, maybe it's like that way, maybe turn left here, and the other person's like, no, I know it's exactly this way. Whoever is most certain always ends up leading, guys. And this is our responsibility, this is our obligation, literally, to our community, to our friends, to our loved ones, to anybody around us. If we have the capacity to step up and lead, we must right now. It's a call back to love, rather than feeling into that fear base of everything going to doom and gloom and everything else. And that's not to say I'm not negating any personal experiences that people have had that are really very, very challenging right now. I'm not ignoring those. I'm not sticking my head in the sand around them. I know that they exist, and the way that we move through those, I've personally had some really huge challenges in my own personal life over the last fortnight, and it really is about coming back to anchoring in at that deep level of who I choose to be right now. who's the next level version of me that can step up and actually deal with this right now. Hey Kelly, great to have you on. So Trace, a couple of different things for you as well, and for everybody else, of course. Hey Nick, loads of love to you, gorgeous. Hey Katie, big love to you too, sweetheart. So some really cool tips, guys. Plan your day, get some structure in there. You want some spontaneity as well, and I'll explain the reason why you want both of those things. Right now, most people feel incredibly uncertain. Structure and planning is going to give you a sense of control back, is going to give you a sense of certainty back that, hey, this is what I'm focusing on, this is where I'm going. It's going to have you back in that prefrontal cortex of being decisive, of learning and growing. And guess what? When you're learning and growing, it is the greatest antidote, apart from gratitude, that's the other one, to fear as well. So super, super important. But with planning and structuring, now you feel like you've got purpose again. Now you're not just like meandering, wandering throughout your day, kind of going, oh, what am I going to do today? Like, get some clear structure. Create some really cool, fun goals for yourself. One of my goals is I've had a unicycle for I don't know how long now. I think my kids bought it for me about 5 or 6 years ago for my birthday, which I asked for. Just a random kind of present. But it's like, I'm going to nail that thing. I'm going to nail that thing before this whole thing's over. Like, I'm gonna nail that in ISO. So watch out for the video on me learning to ride a unicycle. That thing bucks, I swear to God. Anyway, have fun with this. Like, what are some other skills or talents? Like, where would you like to grow to in this phase? Is it that, you know, you want to develop your communication skills? Is it that you want to further develop and really consolidate your relationships at a great level? Like, what a perfect time to be able to do this. Is it that you want to really invest in your kids and really pour into your kids and teach them some really cool life skills at the moment, like cooking or cleaning or you know, how to sew things, or, you know, there's so many other different avenues that we can kind of take this and really focus in a very, very different way to utilize this time in the best way possible. So I really hope that that's been helpful for you guys. Just running through really quickly the other things that I do in my day. So number one, like, I plan my day, but I also create the vision and why I want what it is that I want to create. So with a lot of my coaching clients, and you're getting some really high quality coaching right now, create a vision for yourself in 6 months, right? So that you're actually stepping forward, you're determining, this is where we get our control back, right? You're determining who you're going to show up as, what it is that you're wanting to create, and you can utilize this time to actually start to put the steps in place around that. Now, for some of you, timeframes may shift around this, obviously, because that is an unknown. Just the same as one of my dreams and one of my goals that's been for quite a while was to take my girls to Disneyland. We had flights booked, we had accommodation booked from the 12th of May. Clearly, we're not going on that trip right now. So, you know, again, we get to shift that, we get to change that, and I get to determine what I make that mean. So it's like, oh, that's awesome. I get another 12 months to pour even more money into that savings account so we can have an even more amazing time. It also means my youngest daughter is going to be 18, which means that we can go and do 1 or 2 other things, which previously there was a workshop that I wanted to attend to take both my girls to, and my youngest couldn't attend because she wasn't 18, so we weren't going to go. So it's like, you get to like really look for the good stuff. What is right and what is wrong, or what is positive and what's negative, is always, always, always available, and you're filtering that out by what you make things mean and by the beliefs that you have. I could, like I said, I had some very clear distinctions this week in where people's mindset is at, in terms of what they're making this situation mean. 2 people in the same industry with very, very different beliefs right now, and one is having a very positive experience and the other is really moving through some huge challenges in that experience as well, because we look for and collect evidence to support what it is that we believe. Now, the thing with your beliefs is, you don't have to believe them. If they're not serving you, change those beliefs. Again, this goes back to what we're making things mean. A belief is only a thought that we've thought for so many times that we've made it to be true. So this goes back again to the meaning that we make as human beings. Hey Chris, great to have you on. My absolute pleasure, Tracy, that's great. I'm glad that that's been helpful for you. Hey Katrina, great to have you on. Hey beautiful Mel, loads of love to you, and Adam. Great to have you on here as well, guys. So in a nutshell, really get clear. what are you making this mean? Like, really ask yourself, what am I making this mean? And if you feel like rubbish, I can promise you there is a negative meaning that you're making on this. Very easy to do, very human to do. I'm not judging that. I do that at times as well, guys, but it's up to us to pull ourselves up quicker than ever before. Set your standards for higher levels of emotion around this, in terms of what experience do I want to have, or how do I want to feel every single day, and who do I need to be in order to become that, or in order to live that. So powerful. If not, this is going to be a really challenging time for lots of you. The other things that I feel like I'm jumping around all over the place. I've got so many different ideas coming into my head. The other thing that I was talking about was plan your day to give you back certainty and structure, right? Because most people are missing certainty and structure. The other thing with isolation is you could get really bored, because there's 6 human needs. 2 of those human needs is the need for certainty, but also the need for variety. Because if you're so certain, if you know exactly what's going to happen every single day, guess what? You're going to be bored shitless. So you're going to want to change things up. Change the furniture around, redesign your house, like whether it's like, and whether, again, access to paint and things like that. But there's lots of things that you can do in between. If you can't go buy the paint, and clearly that's not an essential, so I certainly wouldn't encourage that right now. But like, you could look at color charts, you could look at things online, you could look at, what does, there's so many different apps and things that you can kind of download to support you. Like, there's different languages that you can learn. There's different, look for the ways that you can introduce and create more variety in your day every day, and be a little bit spontaneous. Bring more fun, bring more laughter in, change things up in the family household as well. And that is how you're going to balance both the certainty and the need for variety as well. Because as humans, that's where we'll go a little bit stir crazy as well. So good morning, beautiful Helen. Hey Judy, love to have you on. And so pleased that's been helpful for you, Amna. That's beautiful. So really powerful, guys. Again, around all of that, decide what you're going to make it mean. Who do you need to become in this process? How are you best going to utilize this time, and really create this solid plan for yourself. Plan out your day. I've been doing mindset work, inner work with my belief systems and how I'm actually feeling. I've been checking in with myself 3 times a day, simply because I'm having lots of quite intense conversations with people lately. So I need to be at a super high level in order to maintain that space, maintain that leadership. We're all going to have very human moments in the next, probably in the last month, but also in the days ahead. We're all going to have those moments, and that's completely okay. It's just how quickly you're going to pick yourself back up and determine, hang on a second, who am I? And this is like building a muscle. It's like going to the gym and just practicing reps. That's the only way that you get stronger with this, is when you fall down, you pick yourself back up and you keep going again. Your kids need you, your team needs you, particularly if you're a business owner. If you are struggling in business, or you're feeling like really burnt out by this whole situation, I'm going to put the link for my business owners group as well, and Thrive group, which is really about overcoming burnout. But it's going to be a real thing at the moment for so many people, particularly if they're living in that state of stress as well. So really taking time to love on you, to take care of you. Move through those things, create a clear plan for your day, get your vision of what you want this next 6 months or 12 months to look like for you, in where you're moving to or what you're creating for yourself, and have fun playing with this and introducing things that create certainty, like planning and structure, as well as looking for the variety around this as well. Good morning, Amy. Great to have you on. Hopefully that's been helpful for you guys. Sending you all loads and loads and loads of love. And as always, if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. But otherwise, have an amazing weekend. Take some time out for you guys. Rest, play, and really create some special times. I think we're in very unprecedented times at the moment, where we've never experienced anything like this, which means even more you get to create this in a way that feels great for you. So sending loads of love, and have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now.